Hello, my friends. I'm not wearing any pants, and this is the reality check. I recently came across a video that someone had shared on Facebook. I know, again, a social media thing. I can't stay away, obviously. But it was from a pastor, Pastor Greg Locke. And this gentleman, he seemed pretty reasonable. The first time I ever encountered him was during the whole debacle with Donald Trump's issue with the red cup in Starbucks, and how everybody was freaking out about how, oh, this is horrible, they're not saying Merry Christmas or whatever. And this individual basically made the point that there are bigger and more serious issues that should be concerned with. I was of the opinion that if a candidate cares more about a cup than he does the economy, then he's a piece of crap. So, anyways, the reason I'm making this video is because he put another video out there addressed to atheists and our beliefs. And it's basically a comparison between fairy tale creatures and God, and saying that, well, here, I'll just play the video. Hold on.
Hey guys, Pastor Greg Locke here. Quick thought. You ever wonder why atheists never fight against unicorns? You ever hear them speak against leprechauns? I never hear atheists saying things about anti-alienism.
Okay, what the hell is anti-alienism? I even tried to look it up, and alienism is a term for something completely different. I think he means the fact that we haven't met aliens, but due to the fact that most of us believe that the universe is infinite, that it would be ridiculous not to think that aliens exist, because it would be a statistical impossibility. Because if you have literally an infinite amount of space, and we know how life comes into being, then there has to be the right conditions, at least in one other place in the universe, for life to have come about and for aliens to exist. But anyways, I'm rambling here.
They never fight against trolls?
Okay, never fight against trolls. That's kind of BS, because I see trolls on the internet all the time, people giving misinformation, and I totally say my piece whenever it comes to them. A lot of people ask, well, why do you do that? Aren't you just wasting your time? They're not going to listen. But if there is no pushback against intellectual morons, basically, then that's basically all you're going to be surrounded with. It's just people that say, yep, okay, that sounds right. Oh, yeah, a water bottle left out in your car in the sun, all those chemicals are going to leach in and kill you, when, there's no evidence for that. It's just people spouting nonsense. But from what he's saying right here, I think he's trying to equate the evidence for God and the evidence for unicorns and leprechauns, and how they're different. But there really isn't as much of a difference, because, well, I cannot 100% disprove God. I can also not 100% disprove leprechauns and unicorns or anything like that. I mean, until I know absolutely 100% everything, I can't be intellectually honest about denying the possibility that they exist. Now, with that said, the God of the Christian Bible, or Muslims, their prophet, or whatever religion you want to go with, because the parameters are so defined as to what their God is, or what he does, or the way he acts, it's very easy to discount their gods or their beliefs, because they are putting out stuff as though it is fact. This is exactly what's happening, but they give no evidence to validate those facts. And I find it hilarious that the atheist point of view is dismissed so easily, because we won't believe in something on faith. Now, we don't tell people that we have all the answers, but religious people believe that they have all the answers without evidence. We don't think we have all the answers, and we will totally agree to that. Granted, not all atheists will say that, and you will have some that will flat out deny the existence of an omnipotent being. But if you want to be honest about it, we don't have all the answers, and neither does religion. And that's why most atheists believe the way that they do, because they do not see the evidence to back up your claims. Now, You want to say that God created humanity. Well, you're going to have to provide some evidence that discounts the way that we've found that this world has been created. The evidence that we found towards the way the solar system was formed, the evidence for evolution, which I can't believe we're still having this argument over it's real, it's not, because the mountains of evidence that we have for evolution based on the zero or lack of counter evidence that religious people have, it like it's a slam dunk. Evolution happened. And I understand that your personal beliefs make you not want to think that way, but I'm sorry, it's been proven. Like we can show you how it worked all day long, and if you want to deny it, that's great, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. And I know you can flip the script on me and say the same thing for your religion, but if I was to lay out what counts as evidence, what you're presenting and bringing to the table does not fit. And we can play the definition game all the time. You can say, "Oh, well, this is how this works. This is how this works," and you can move the goalpost as much as you want, but you're just being dishonest. Now, let me play a little bit more of the video because, like, some of the things this guy says just don't make sense to me whatsoever, and it seems like he has a lack of just basic reasoning skills when it comes to this subject, or maybe he just lacks an understanding of the atheist perspective. But let me go ahead and play this, and we'll get to that.
I wonder why. Probably because those little fairy imaginary creatures don't exist. Why spend your life fighting something that doesn't exist?
Okay, now, right there he says, why spend your life fighting something that doesn't exist? The reason that most atheists are so vocal against Christians and whatever religion, again, there's 1,000 of them, is because the religious views of individuals are used to basically influence politics, to influence law, to influence what other people do, because you want to basically make everybody conform to what you think they should be doing. Now, we live in this country that is based on the freedom to believe what you want to believe. I'm not saying that you can't believe in Jesus Christ. I'm not saying that you can't believe in Muhammad. I'm not saying that I can't believe that there's no evidence for the biblical God. But when you're trying to force everyone to believe the same way, to conform to your views, to conform to your standards, that's bullshit. And people are going to call you on it because we're free to believe what we want to believe. You're free to believe what you want to believe. But the second I try and make you believe what I want to believe with laws and influencing our congressmen to do whatever it is you want them to do, like defunding Planned Parenthood or something like that, that's when I'm going to call you on your shit, because you're probably going to do harm from society with that. If you're trying to force everyone to I'll pick on the Mormons. I love you guys. I used to go to church with you, but I'm going to pick on you real quick. They believe in like no sex before marriage, and they will state religious reasons as to why, but the evidence shows that it does no harm. Yes, we have teen pregnancy, and yes, we have STDs and all that stuff, and we have naive people with their hormones that rage that, yeah, they're going to get pregnant. But abstinence has been proven not to really do anything. Now, if you were to educate them on, okay, this is what happens when you have sexual intercourse with an individual. You should think about using birth control. Think about using condoms. Because these kids are going to do it. Like in the church I went to, there were several teen pregnancies, regardless of the teachings of the church. So, again, I am getting a little off topic, but what I'm trying to say is, we're allowed to believe what we want to believe. You're allowed to believe what you want to believe. But we are going to call you on your shit if what you believe is trying to infringe on my right to believe what I want to believe. That's why you hear so many of these atheists now coming out and speaking up, because we're not afraid anymore. We're not We don't have to be silenced by people. And it's also funny that we used to be demonized as, oh, all atheists are evil. And it used to be when a person found out you were an atheist, they were scared off by that. But we don't have to feel that way anymore. We know that there's way more of us out there than we used to think. So, yeah, we're going to call you on it when you're infringing on our rights. And with that said, let's play more of the clip.
Exactly. You know why they fight God? Because in their heart, they have a God-given conscience, and they know He exists.
Okay, that claim is kind of ridiculous because he's trying to say that everybody is a specific way. And he how does he know that? How does he know that we have a God-given conscience and that we know that he exists? Like, you cannot make that claim. That's ridiculous. There is nothing to support that claim. You can say, "Oh, that's what it says in the Bible." Well, so what? The Bible is nothing but a giant unproven claim itself. That, like, you're doing nothing but making an assumption, and it's based on zero evidence. Again, you can say, "Oh, well, it says it in the Bible," or, "Oh, my personal testimony, that's what I believe." But that's not providing evidence to prove that fact. So it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And, well, let me play the rest of the clip because it's kind of ridiculous that he's saying these things like he knows everything.
And the fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
So he's saying that atheists are fools for saying that there is no God. Again, I personally am not claiming that I know 100% that there is no God. I'm saying that the evidence provided by religions for their versions of an omnipotent being are rubbish. Because, like, it doesn't fit. Like, most of these gods are hugely imperfect, are childish by their very nature, and all of the claims that have been made and put forth for these gods, like, there's nothing to back them up other than, like I said, personal testimony, which cannot stand as evidence because you can't demonstrate it. You can't put it forward to somebody. You can't, like I said, record the evidence, show it to someone. You can't test it. You can't do any of that. So there's no reason for atheists to believe that, because with reason and logic we found out, hey, that's bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. Now, with that said, Pastor Greg Locke, I'm not trying to beat you up or anything like that. I do appreciate your view on the red cup thing, and I will go and watch several more of your videos just to see if maybe it's just this one thing that you said that I didn't agree with. I try to keep an open mind as much as possible, because if you don't keep an open mind, you can never have a discussion with someone of an opposing view, and you can never grow as a person. And with that said, I would like to thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you didn't leave a thumbs down, tell me why you didn't like it, and maybe I'll respond to that in the next video. But till then, thank you guys. This has been an episode of The Reality Check. Peace.